y Bielorrusia. Vamos a hablar, por cierto, de una de las consecuencias de la guerra. Ya saben ustedes, esa subida de los precios del gas, que ahora se ha relajado un poquito, pero que en las últimas semanas ha vuelto a verse esa subida del gas por cuestiones que no tienen tanto que ver con Rusia, pero sí con el hecho realmente de que ahora estamos dependiendo de otros actores, entre ellos, por ejemplo, Noruega. Y a la mínima disrupción que pueda haber allí, pues tenemos esas subidas de los precios. La cuestión es, ¿vamos a tener unos precios del gas relativamente bajos en verano? Este invierno puede volver a ser un invierno preocupante. Vamos a preguntárselo a Ben Laidler, que es estratega de mercados globales de la plataforma de inversión en multiactivos eToro. Ben, thank you so much for being in Negocios Televisión. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Ben, summer is almost there and natural gas in Europe has suffered volatility in previous weeks. What will happen in the summer? Will we have another spike in prices as demand goes up with high temperatures?
I think we've had a little bit of a wake-up call in the last few weeks with the rise in natural gas prices. I think we'd all got used to natural gas prices just plunging. They're now down 90% from their peak last year, and it's been the single biggest driver of the lower inflation that we're seeing, of the relief to company profit margins that we're seeing. So I think we've had this wake-up call, and I think we should not get used to prices just continuing to fall. I think it's going to be much more difficult from here. It's not a bad news story. Storage levels in Europe have been filled up pretty well, but this is a global market. Asia's reopening, they're demanding more gas. We're having supply problems in Norway and Holland. Potentially we have an El Nino coming, which could give us a hotter summer and a colder winter, which would increase demand. So my basic point is, we've all enjoyed these much lower natural gas prices. As I say, it's been the biggest driver of for lower inflation in Europe, but it's not going to go on forever.
By the way, Ben, Russia and Ukraine signed a contract to deliver gas through the pipeline that goes through Ukraine, but the contract expires in 2024. What could happen if they don't renew the contract? Because that's what expected if the war continues.
Absolutely. It's a surprise to a lot of people that Russia is still sending natural gas to Europe. Obviously a fraction of what they used to, but this is still quite a tight market. As I say, Asia's demanding more LNG. Potentially we could have a colder winter. So even small changes, even Russia closing off that 5% of natural gas that they supply to Europe, today, could be enough to push prices back up.
And also I wanted to ask you about the energy crisis. A very simple question, but I guess it's pretty hard to answer. Ben, is the energy crisis already over? Because it seems to be the reason why inflation soared last year, but also it's the reason why inflation has plummeted this year. So the real question here is if the energy crisis is already over.
Yes, I think it is. We're not going back to anything like the gas prices of $340 per megawatt hour that we saw last time. Right now, we're at 1/10 of that. So yes, I think we may have seen the biggest falls, but there's no way we're going back to to those levels. And as you say, that's been a massive benefit to Europe, to Spain. Why is headline inflation in Spain at 3%? It's because fuel prices have just fallen by a third. Why are companies enjoying deflation in their producer prices of -4%? It's because of lower energy prices. Those producer prices were rising by 45% at this time last year. So this has been a massive relief to Europe. I don't think we're going back to those levels, but I'll just leave one number with you. Even at these prices, which feel very low, they're still twice the levels that we had, pre-pandemic. So this is still quite a tough environment for many people.
Laidler, estratega de mercados globales de la plataforma de inversión en multiactivos eToro. Thank you so much, Ben, for being here in Negocios Televisión. It's been a pleasure to speak to you here. Bueno, pues nos decía Ben Laidler, entre otras cosas, que es difícil saber si la crisis energética ya ha terminado, pero que no hay que acostumbrarse a que los precios del gas sigan bajando, ¿eh? Con esto nos quedamos, hacemos una breve pausa y enseguida volvemos con más cuestiones del día y pendientes de ese consejo de seguridad